All right, guys, we are back here, and we're going to hop right on into the draft as it is now underway for game number 2 between Snowflake and Symbiote Gaming. Symbiote Gaming is currently up 1-0 in the grand finals of Kings of the Storm 2, and we're already seeing a pick on Arthas.
Yeah,
all
Arthas.
over
Everyone's
the
Arthas.
screen. It's going to be a great game here.
There's got to be a joke in here with Arthas and Snowflake, but we'll just let it go.
I mean, we've talked about Arthas being the first pick, so
yeah, I don't want to talk about Arthas anymore. He's there. He'll just sit there. But we do have Tyrael bans and Tassadar bans, standard stuff across the board. This is honestly reminiscent of Kings of the Storm 1, where Kerrigan or Raynor was banned almost every game. And
That's actually really true.
Yeah,
because that was back in the day where Kerrigan had like a ridiculous
Kerrigan
amount
could
of
literally
sustain.
5v1. She could actually 5v1.
She was
It was wrong.
Terrifying.
Just disgusting. So the issue with what am I trying to talk about? Oh, Chen and Falstead picked up again this time right away. So we see another first round Chen pick, and that's a thing. So it'll be interesting to see what happens going forward, because we don't have Chen on Symbiote this time. So I don't know. We saw Chen once or twice today on
2 or 3 games.
Snowflake.
Yeah.
On Snowflake though.
Oh, Snowflake.
I think LZ
at
played
least
him?
at least twice. At least twice. But yeah, I mean, Chen Falstad is weird. Like, as their first 2 picks, that's weird.
Well, what did they do last time? They did Chen Tychus for
Yeah,
Snowflake?
but I'm just not used to Chen being a first pick at all. Like, that in general is like the meta has been shifted. Like,
granted, we're on Curse Hollow right now. That's the map.
yeah.
So does Chen mean anything to you on Curse Hollow?
Well, Cursed Hollow, I mean, obviously you want to get the tribute. Chen has a lot of sustainability, and he can just sit there and use his brew, body block a lot in some of the closer passageways. But we're going to see some good stuff with Storm, Earth, and Fire on this map, sure. We're not going to... Huh? Panda Pals. Excuse me for that terrible blunder.
Come on.
Yeah, Panda Pals will be used, but, I mean, we're not going to see Keg. Like, the only time...
It's highly unlikely.
It's highly unlikely. I mean, Keg is almost... always
like
used
Garden.
as a disengage nowadays.
Yeah. I see it more in like Garden, open or
I think it's great on
map.
Blackhearts.
Yeah, Blackhearts too. Yeah, an open map.
Well, it's complete opposite when you think about it. Blackhearts because you have those narrow passageways, and I think that like.
Why wouldn't you use it on Curse then? Where's your logic at?
I have no logic right now. It's okay.
That's why.
Okay, Matt, calling me out. Well, still think it's a strange pick because it's not like. But at the same time, both of these teams have been going for Chen, so maybe they have something in mind that's going to lend to that. Now, we see that we actually have Uther, Tychus, and Arthas. This is every time we've seen FSMG play, they're going for this really big tanky build. They're going for the Outlast kind of playstyle. I wouldn't even be surprised if they try to pick up Rhaegar here for SMG, because you give them healing ward, and the healing totem at level 1 for Rhaegar, and you give them Bloodlust with an Odin. That's a scary, scary composition. But on the other side of things, we see that we have Snowflake picking up Vala and Stitches to go with their Chen Falstad. You're speechless.
No, I was thinking if Nova could fit into this comp, and I don't see it for Symbiote. Mainly because of Chen and Stitches. If they only had one of those two, I would say that Nova could probably be played here. And what it looks like to me is Snowflake decided to take Falstad early so that they could pick Vala second. And what that does is it really, really cuts back on the amount of ranged damage dealers that exist. And now, granted, KO is one of the better Raynors in the game, in my opinion. And he could do it if he really wanted to. There's a couple of people on SMG that play Tychus, not necessarily at the same level of KO, but we might see maybe a Zeratul coming out of Arthlon. I know I've seen it a couple times. His is pretty good. I'm only worried at this point about what damage dealer they're going to pick.
Zagara and Anub Arak seeing the light of day. once again, and I don't know why he's spamming Explorer Lily in our face, but that's Arthlon for you.
It's Arthlon.
So we actually have that full roster locked in.
Yeah, I get it. I see it. I'm actually not sure what the goal. I guess. I mean, so Zagara is really good for stopping. She's really good for getting early camps. She's good for getting camps in general. Period.
Vision
is great, and she's also really good at stopping tributes. So they have all that going for them, and being able to get early camps on Curse Hollow is really good, just because you can put pressure on the map when tributes are coming up. So, like, that's there, but this doesn't. Something about this doesn't feel like a symbiote comp to me.
I mean,
I have no doubt that they can pull this off. It's just something about it feels a little different.
I mean, it certainly is very different today. Honestly, I would have liked to see the Rhaegar, just because I love. He's easily my favorite hero to play as in the game. I wanted to see the Rhaegar come in, because I really do see some potential for the Rhaegar in this kind of composition. But honestly, I think this will work out well, because they're going to have so much ability to just make decisions on the fly. I guarantee you tumors will be well placed all over the map. They're going to have a lot of vision throughout the game using Zagara. And Curse Hollow is a map where you don't necessarily... There's a lot of options. There's a lot of decision making for both teams between what they're going to do in each situation. Do we go for the tribute, or do we grab their golem? Do we go for... those variables happen so often. And with good tumor placement, you can have a lot of... just a lot of extra presence on the map.
Right. So, who do you think... I mean, we're going to see very, very shortly. So, really quick, who do you think is going to be the 5th pickup for Snowflake? They have Chen, Falstead, Vala, Stitches.
Whoa.
Likely going to be a support, right?
Yeah, it's got to be a support.
So what do you think? Do you think
Brightwing.
Brightwing?
Yep. Brightwing. It's got to be Brightwing.
Biased towards Brightwing?
Nope. It's because you have False Head, you have that double dive, and opening that up on a map this big, when you can pair False Head with Brightwing, you can have so much control. And I don't think they're going to want to go with Emerald when they're going to go with Blank, but she's a hero that you don't have to worry about too much. She can keep herself alive in almost any situation. Her healing, the sustainability you get with 2 big tanks, she's not going to run out of mana too quick. She has the Pulse Heal, which costs her absolutely nothing. And you pair that with Stitches. Now, you can argue that Falstead and Vala need a bigger healer. You can argue that they need Malfurion for the root. They need something like that, because the hook root is a really scary pair. So you can definitely argue for Malfurion. He was not banned, if I'm correct, so Malfurion is definitely a viable option. But it's down to those two, like, easily. I mean, obviously Uther hasn't been picked, or has not been picked. Am I wrong?
He's been picked.
He has been picked.
It's
Okay.
on
He's
SMG.
there. He's behind the giant Anubarak. It's right on my screen here. And
yeah, fun fact for everybody that's watching: you can't actually click the.
You can. There's this little gear
Yeah.
where you can actually change the
so-
settings, but you have to go under his leg. If you hover here, it doesn't actually register it. But if you go under his leg to click this icon, which you have to do to change the status of that player, change their team. But Rhaegar. Just nope, you're wrong. It's not Malfurion. It's not Brightwing. It's actually gonna be Rhaegar, and I find that to be very interesting.
It's certainly interesting. It makes a lot of sense, but it makes a lot of sense in a I don't want to say a different kind of way, but a very specific way.
Right. It's a bloodlust.
Well, it's a bloodlust, but so I'm gonna call it a snowball-y idea, because the way that I'm thinking that this happens is. And I'm thinking mostly level 16.
We're going to start the game.
Yeah, we're good to go. Let's go. I'm thinking mostly level 16. So you have like Fishing Hook, you have Earthbind, and you have all kinds of bursts coming out of Vala and Falstead. So if you get that one pick, right, that pick happens, and... Are you okay? Everything break?
Nothing broke.
Nothing broke. Okay. We're good. We're good.
We're good.
Okay. So you get that one pick, and you're now looking at a 4v5, right? Like that's where we're going. Then you bloodlust. After the pick happens, you bloodlust, and if the enemy team tries to deal with you and they don't 100% lock you down, then you have that bloodlust to just absolutely crush out anything that happens. And if they get slightly away, you get maybe one pick with it because you're bloodlusted, you have the move speed, you have the attack speed, and you can do a lot of really scary stuff. Additionally, you have bloodlust for curse. So if you win a fight and it's not 100% won, you can just go push onto a fort, lust it up, blow it up, and then get out. So there's a lot of really interesting uses of bloodlust on this map that we might see, and I'm definitely looking forward to it. I'm mostly interested to see how Stitches gets used in this map.
Yeah, I mean, there's, like you said, there's a lot of utility on this map, in particular when it comes to Stitches. I mean, there's so many little crevices that, like this little horseshoe right here, that you can pull enemies into using the hook that Stitches has, but we haven't seen it really utilized too well. We haven't seen the hook paired with the actual map at all. Mad Timmy is just spamming his hearth button, having a nice little dance here in the bottom lane, and everyone else is just kind of... No one's really doing anything too cheeky. I mean, we've got 3 bots.
No, they're playing it slow.
Yeah, but the hook is always a real option here, and he's going to show himself, but I don't know if he's going to be able to get anything done with the hook.
Yeah, it's always tough to get a hook on Zagara if she's spamming her summons. The hook came out, didn't end up hitting anything.
A good attempt.
Yeah, it was...
A good try there!
Good job.
Yep.
Proud of you.
But we see actually a big dive on Idra here
Idra.
in the middle lane, and Idra is able to tumble away, getting to safety. And she's going to tap well while Faye shifts up to give her some protection. And Keelax will gladly throw a nice heal over like a good wolf. There we go.
We do have standard Zagara Demolitionist, level 1, so...
Yes, that's pretty much become the only pick. Ever since they changed the roaches, you used to be able to get 3 roaches instead of 2 at level 1. They swapped... Sorry?
That was silly.
That was a silly
change. No, it was a silly thing to even exist in the first place.
It still exists. It's just on a later talent.
Right, but it was so good that it didn't matter. Like you picked it every time.
That's fair. But now Demolitionist has become the one sure pick that we see almost all the time.
Yeah, and we also have a bribe coming out of Falstead. So there is one bribe in the game that may or may not be awesome and swing. Just sitting there laughing up top.
Just chugging his beer, laughing away. Ha ha ha! Try hurting me. It's that's the Chen way. And look at this creep spread by Arth. Very, very nicely done. We see the bribe going down, or not the bribe, just the jungling going down by Dreadnought. Yeah, I heard the bribe tick, so I wanted to talk about bribe, but it wasn't bribe. It was actually in a new Barak fighting some siege giants. And over here, we can see that they are going to be reacting with their siege giants as well. Of course, Chen is just going to keep sustaining like a ridiculous panda bear that he is, and you know, both teams are going to hit level 5 right around the same time.
Right.
So,
but notice the time that both teams did their giants. They started them at about the 2-minute mark, which is pretty much the point where you want to start, just so that you cap them as the tribute spawns.
Very good point.
Dreadnought's going to be able to pick this up. No contention. The difference though is that Snowflake does actually have someone still down in bottom lane helping to push with those giants.
And collecting those marksman stacks on that. So
Bribe stacks.
Bribe stacks. He didn't get marksman.
No, he got bribe. He was bribe.
Gotcha.
KO is the one that does marksman.
This makes sense.
And he likes it. So they do have... that is going in.
That is not good. Falstad is one of the smallest health pools in the entire game, so getting caught out of position is always a very scary situation for a Falstad player.
So we're 6 levels into this game, 3 minutes in, and not too much is happening yet. We do see that Snowflake is moving over to pick up their knights. Pretty standard play. I mean, whenever there's not a tribute down, usually you want to be making use of the rest of the map. LZ actually getting dropped very low. I wouldn't be surprised to see Arth drop his next pod of roaches over, trying to get something going there.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, LZ needs someone to float at this point. Soldier's here,
Soldier wants
here, Soldier's going on in. He's not afraid to run right on in. And if LZ oversteps his boundaries, he's going to get rooted and killed in no time. Honestly, Soldier could try to contest this, but he knows LZ wants him to do just that. LZ wants him to overextend. Soldier properly does not commit too hard, and they're just gonna keep. They might actually get a free fort here, but we see that Snowflake is falling down onto SMG, trying to make sure they keep this fort alive. It's very low, but a very nice hook on Soldier. Not necessarily the target you want. Arthas is very hard to kill. Nubrek comes on in. Dreadnought is ready for action, getting stuns on both Keelax and Faye, and they're going to try to keep this alive, but the Rhaegar healing totem is going to do a lot of work, but it actually gets picked off pretty quickly.
That should allow Snowflake to pick this tribute up.
We have the Knights pushing there, but this tribute is easily going to go in favor of Snowflake. But you know what? SMG stepped forward a little bit, and they paid for it.
Yeah.
I mean, not Dreadnought, Arthas player, whoever's on Soldier, it fell pretty quickly. Like
Arthas player.
Well,
such late.
It's a long day, guys, and we're having a great time here casting this game, but we're going to make a few mistakes.
It's okay. We'll get through it.
We'll get through it. Wow, we just have Dreadnought and Matt Timmy, just kind of defending the lane here, and it looks like everybody's just kind of returned to their normal soaking. These Knights were going to be picked up here by Arthas player, and on their side of the map. So just pretty standard play, just responding with their Knights after Snowflake grabbed their Knights a little bit earlier. And we see Chilotech and KOTS just kind of posturing. They probably know what's going on, and they're just positioning to see if they can maybe catch someone off guard, making sure that this Grave Golem isn't being taken, making sure they're playing, honestly, and just grabbing their Knights, not the Golem. And just solid awareness on the map. Now, the tribute is up, and everybody's pretty much ready for battle, but Snowflake is very close to level 10.
Right. Both teams are very close to level 10. Either side getting a kill here will almost guarantee level 10. Snowflake will get level 10 slightly before Symbiote. It's very, very close. Yeah, that hook would have been amazing. So level 10 is out right now. Symbiote realizes it. They're waiting. They're not going to be able to get level 10 by the time that this goes down, it looks like. Actually, they are. Will they be able to go in on this?
Both teams are now level 10. Dreadnought
yes.
goes in immediately. We have a full initiation here coming up by SMG. Faye is out of position, but the Ancestral Healing goes down, and Faye actually stays alive. And it's incredibly even. All members of the Snowflake are super, super low, and they're going to fall 1, 2, 3, and 4. Oh, 4. Yeah, 4. Very, very
Learning
nice.
to count.
And Chilotech will be number 5. Incredibly.
All right, let's recap that.
Oh my God!
So Arth came in from the side, and he hit pretty much the exact mod that they needed. It went right on top of Falsehead and on top of Vala as Vala started her strafe. So that just got rid of that damage for a second. And then, actually, I don't think she started. She was starting to do her strafe. She came out, she started strafing, but at that point, so many people were already hurt. It didn't really matter. They were able to pick both of those people off, and losing both of your damage dealers at the beginning of that fight allowed Symbiote to just kind of, they ran it. They ran the entire fight, and that was huge for them. They have now a full level lead, and if they decide to push this through on bottom, they'll be able to just, pressure all over the map afterwards, and there's not really all that much that Snowflake can do just right now.
Yeah, it looks like Soldier's going to rotate up to the Giants here and take them pretty quickly. Snowflake's going to be grabbing their Golem in response to the Golem that SMG took, but SMG is already pushing hard with the Golem. This is actually defensive Giants. They know that this Siege Golem is coming for Snowflake, so they got the Giants defensively, so this will help fight it off. It'll pretty much kill the Golem for them and allow the team to push and do what they can with their Golem. It's nice to get the XP from this, but really that's the idea. It's defensive. Arth doesn't have to stay in the top lane.
Yeah, and as we see, we have Symbiote down bottom. They have been CV'd, so they are, it looks like Snowflake's going to react by trying to pick up the Tribute. Whether or not Rhaegar will actually be able to do that, I'm not sure. It's going to be very tight, but it looks like
they should be just fine. They should be able to get this no problem. I mean, SMG is still going to try to contest, but they have no way of contesting this because it will be grabbed by Ben. But it looks like they might try to go in anyways. They're all right here, and they might just try to get. But a nice hook by Faye. They don't have a choice. LZ Gamer has fallen. The Maw goes down. Very nicely done. Chilotech has to pop his heroic. The strafe is down for Idra, and pretty much all of Snowflake is getting just wrecked at this point. Helax having to use the heroic on himself, and Chilotech will be rip indeed. So
that Maw,
again, it's like,
just Arth is on point right now. That Maw was fantastic. He got pulled over, didn't freak out, didn't lose his cool, went ahead, threw down a Maw that actually blocked the path for Shen to get out, so he actually had to pop his ultimate.
It didn't just grab people. It
did everything. It did literally everything.
It did exactly what you want to do. Yeah. And it shows how good it is in a narrow atmosphere like that, a narrow scenario where the lane is pretty small. There's not a lot of moving room. So, well played. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing else you can say.
They've taken 2 fights, and now they're a full 2 levels ahead.
They're basically presently, but 2, you're right.
So That's terrifying. And now if they do this fight again, granted they're not going to have their ults up, but they have just raw stats. They have raw 2 levels on Snowflake. So if they don't get picked and Snowflake doesn't burst someone down, I don't see Snowflake being able to win this. Granted, okay, maybe I'm wrong. Snowflake does have the majority of their ults at their disposal. So we'll see what happens. And we're just going to see a slight poke battle right here. Faye's going to throw a hook. Probably trying to land it on KO, I would imagine, would be the target. You don't really want to pull Timmy. Pulling Arth, as we just saw, it's not the best unless you stun lock it and blow it up. And obviously, you never really want to put it.
Interesting disengage by Dreadnought using both of his cooldowns to actually grab the well. He threw the stun in there and then went to grab the well, but we're seeing the engage here on Soldier. Chilicek needs to be drinking his brew to keep his shields up, but the Divine Storm goes down and he has no shielding left. The Maw once again being a big, massive factor in this fight. Idra is on the run from Dreadnought. We have this big initiation happening here. Chilicek is low, Faye is low. Chilicek has to run to try to save Idra. Will Idra be okay? She's going to get out by the skin of his teeth, and we're going to see just SMG just grab these Giants and just keep the pressure on. Another win for them, and you see that Arthlon is grabbing the third tribute with the curse here.
Yeah, so that's huge. They're going to hit level 16 as well, which means there's really no easy way. I'm not going to say no way, but no easy way for Snowflake to fight back against this right now, especially because it's 5-on-4.
They've got their clairvoyance down. They know exactly where all the members are. Top lane is being pushed by these Siege Giants. They are going to get that fort, no problem. And we have this entire keep being just slaughtered by everything around it. They have to do what they can to defend it here. Snowflake cannot keep this over, but I don't think they have a choice. SMG is going to get it, and they're going to back off unless they think that Snowflake overextends. If Snowflake gives them an opportunity, but nope, this is going to be the disengage. So they don't have Burrowing Courage. Oh my gosh, Mad Timmy giving a beautiful Divine Storm to secure that kill. Idra gets the Ancestral Healing to live a little bit longer, but the Strafe's doing work. That Strafe is doing absolute amazing work. All the members of SMG are really low, and that's going to be a death here on Arthalon. And honestly, Dread and they're just, are they doing it?
No, they're just going to try to put as much damage on. They know that they won't be able to kill it, but they know that they'll be able to bring it down to a point where they can actually just go ahead and run back and go in.
Oh my God!
Soldier got really close.
Oh my God!
A lot closer than I thought he was going to get. He did use Stone Skin, so he was able to do that.
We could actually see Arth try to get really cheeky here and then just backdoor. He's hanging out. Now Faye doesn't. Okay, he likes.
I would have liked to see it.
He might cancel it. He doesn't. Okay, honestly,
I would have liked to see it.
Honestly, he could have done it. They're going straight down the middle. He probably could have ended the game right now, and he doesn't know that. He decides to go for the safe play and just Hearth back into base. But he could have canceled that when he saw them run by.
He could have. He absolutely could have. That would have been one hell of a sight to see. But now we're in the danger zone. I mean, granted, if SMG decides to just run by, do their SMG thing, they're like, yeah, you know what, we don't have to even deal with you guys anymore. We're just gonna go win. If they do that, then great. But right now we're looking at the fishing hook, the Earthbind Totem. Like, we have Overdrive on Falstead now. So like, if any pick happens, that person gets picked, they get brought back, and they don't leave for a pretty decent amount of time. And it's likely that they're going to be losing at least half their health, if not more. And likely, they could actually die.
Well, I mean, a really nice stun chain on Idra, and LZ is going to fall as well. Kilax will fall, and this is absolutely game. I mean, Ancestral Healing will keep you alive for a little bit, but at this point in time, they can just beeline for the base, and Arthlon is way ahead of us, saying, oh, you can't hook me. Jukes the hook, and GG, game 2. Another decisive victory for SMG. I mean, the team fights, it's just, they have the superior team fight in these comps. I don't know if it's the outdraft, because
I don't think they outdrafted them.
Yeah,
I don't think they did. I think they just, there's a lot of times where they'll basically predict where people are going to go, and they'll act on that, and it's great because it happens. I want to say what it seems like it happens almost 9 times out of 10, and they're also really, really good at making the best situation out of something that's really bad. So like, sometimes they'll get jumped on, but they'll find a way to flip it, and it might not be the point where they always win every single thing. That they don't always flip it back, but they hardly ever just get flat out aced. They find a way to squeak something in so that they're at least on par and the enemy team can't end the game. And then when they win fights, they make sure that they just crush it so they can end the game.
Well, we certainly did see that happen in that match there because every single fight we saw was decisive. Honestly, I am loving Arthalon's Anubarak. He knows how to use it. He knows how to use, like, we saw him.
Dreadnought?
Dreadnought.
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 Fist bump. Fist bump.
Fist
Fist
bump.
bump. Dreadnought. That Arthas player, soldier, butchering all the
That
names.
money pig owner.
The money pig owner. That's all he's known for. Clearly not. No. Just really, really decisive play by Anubarak. Just the amount of initiation ability you have. Like, this is a character a hero that we thought we were going to see on Glorious. We really thought that we were going to see ZPs come out with the Anubarak because that lends to their typically very aggressive playstyle. But SMG also plays a very, we're going to end the game now, we're going to come in on you and just dive on you. And Dread is making Anubarak look wonderful. So, I mean, everyone looks good. Their Maws were spot on. Like,
Oh yeah, Arth was hitting mods that definitely were worth using.
oh my
Like,
god.
sometimes people will throw a mod and it'll like
Hit one
it'll
guy.
maybe catch someone.
Yeah.
Like it might catch like the off support or something. That's not really like important.
You're right.
But then like you look at this and like the very first mod that he got was so decisive. Like it hit both damage dealers, completely locked them out.
What a game. What a
It
game.
was
I
pretty
mean,
awesome.
well, we're going to be going to game number 3 in just a quick moment, guys. We're going to take a quick break to set up the lobby, and we will be right back.